December has a cold and unfriendly feel, like all of nature is preparing for the worst. The days are growing very short. The deer have fallen into narrow feeding patterns, and those are what we attempt to exploit. Drew McLean is after his #1 target buck, a big 10-pointer that only recently showed back up on the food plot Drew is now hunting.
Well, I'm just still getting set up. I literally just walked into the redneck. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was just shutting the door and looked up, and we already got a little buck out in the field, so far it's a pretty good start. I think the deer will be moving early. It's actually the first day of December already, and had a cold front push through. It was 62 degrees yesterday, and right now it's 40 degrees. Major temperature drop right towards the end of the rut here, so the bucks are starting to think about food again, and I can't think I can write a better script for how this evening's setting up. We got the muzzleloader in hand, and got knocked down cornfield. After a buck called TJ, I actually saw TJ in this field last night in front of this redneck blind. My hope is just tonight he does it again in daylight. So last night is about a half hour after dark that he was in this field and I saw him. We'll see with this cold front. It rained last night and cold air filled in behind it. So hopefully this cold weather and this food will do the trick tonight. Well, it's about 4:30. We've seen 13 different deer. All that action before 4 o'clock, and we still got about, I'd say, 45 minutes of shooting light left. Man, I still gotta think we'll be seeing some more deer before now and then. Breathe. That's him, isn't it? Man. Oh, I wouldn't do that yet. Wait, just turn. He's not in any hurry. Okay. You still on him? Yeah. Come on. Alright, whenever you stop, you ready? Yeah. I still going pretty hard. Yeah. Right away. Alright, he's turning. Wait, oh, he's going one way. Alright, you ready whenever he stops? Yeah. Ready? Yeah. You got him. You smoked him. Oh, he's bleeding everywhere, buddy. That's a dead deer right there, man. That's a dead deer, man. Oh, man. Oh, I've been after that deer for the last couple of days. I'm getting pictures of him. 4.5-year-old buck. My dad's calling me right now. Hang on. We'll get it called in later, but he probably heard me shoot. Oh, thank you, Lord. I'll tell you what, man, he's a dandy buck. Yeah. He's nice. Oh. first step of getting off the redneck without falling over, shaking so hard.
Right here.
How did you right here, yeah.
What I didn't like that.
Think we should wait?
Probably.
I think we should wait. I can see him.
Oh my God.
He's all propped up ready for us, isn't he?
Wow.
He's a big deer. We saw him down there in the field in Velvet, right? All those pictures of him, and
That was awesome. I mean, he was growing a good one there.
what a buck.
Wow.
Hey Carter, what's up, man?
You want to see him? You want to see him? Wow, huh? Well, guys, here he is. Got him all cleaned up, and you know, with that cold weather that pushed in, I couldn't help myself but think that this deer would have to come out eventually in daylight. It was just, there's too much food, too much attraction with the amount of does that were out here, and you know, unbelievable deer. 4.5-year-old buck. Had an encounter with this deer last year on this exact same location, and just a nice clean young 10-point, probably mid 130s, somewhere in there, and boy, he really put on the inches this season. Followed him through his velvet, followed him through beginning of this season. He disappeared on us just like he did last year. Unbelievably blessed to put this awesome buck on the ground, my biggest buck to date. You know, give all the glory to God, and thanks to my family and friends for supporting me in what we love to do here hunting.
Drew is using trophy rocks to bring deer to his trail cameras. In states where it is legal, this is a great way to get photos of nearly all the deer in your hunting area. Besides, the trophy rock supports a healthy deer herd.
Drew placed his redneck blind at the end of this field so he could more easily sneak to and from it. Then he knocked the corn down in front of the blind to make the spot more attractive to the deer. With this many deer in the field, Drew would likely have gotten busted in a tree stand, but with the redneck blind, he was able to wait them out and eventually get a shot at his biggest buck. Drew ran muddy trail cameras all fall in this buck's area. He ended up getting some great nighttime photos of the deer and was able to identify the buck and begin patterning him early in the season. The Muddy Pro Cam 12 takes crisp, nighttime photos and has a long IR flash range for maximum effectiveness.
The RTP Genesis seeder permits us to plant all sizes of seeds, from the small stuff found in Big and Beastie all the way up to big seeds like corn and soybeans. It is nice to have this much flexibility in one critical tool. With the Iowa shotgun season underway, Mike Reed is back in the urban zone where he can still hunt with archery equipment.
It's Monday, December 5th, and I'm all set up for the afternoon hunt. It's pretty cool, overcast, kind of been foggy all day. 2 nights ago, Jared and I were hunting right here, and we had a nice encounter with a shooter. This is the same spot that I passed up that mature 8-point a couple weeks ago. So I'm set up with a southeast wind, about 10 or 15 miles per hour. The setup is filled edge, a little bit of standing beans, and the bedding area off to the northeast, and the deer tend to filter out. You can see the big trail right here. They stop, feed a little bit, and they work their way off to the cut cornfields. This area is basically surrounded by cut corn. So I've got a number of mature bucks on camera right here. I can think of 5 or 6 different bucks that are 4.5 or older that I'd be happy to shoot. No real giants per se, but just nice mature bucks. And at this point in the year, especially in the urban zone, I'm not going to be terribly picky. I'll just be happy to wrap my tag around a mature deer. So I'm self-filming tonight, and I'll go ahead and finish getting ready to go and get quiet and enjoy the evening. Just like that. That's a mature 8-point. I think he's a 4-year-old. I got some pictures of him. It's 4:30, so just 5 minutes before sunset. And you'd think with this cold weather and pressure rising, they'd be moving better. But anyway, he did just what they've all done. Every time I'm hunting here, I move the stand about 60 yards to get right next to the trail. Anyway, got on him. He gave me an easy 15-yard shot, and he ran over and fell right there in the field. So I was just looking at the pictures before I came out to the woods, and he was all over the camera last time I pulled it, which was right around Thanksgiving. So anyway, I'm pumped. Urban buck down during shotgun season, exactly how you want to do it. And he's a mature buck, and this time of year, if I got a mature buck in range in town, I'm gonna take advantage of it. Well, here he is. Nice 4.5-year-old 8-point. This is the third day of the Iowa first shotgun season, and I get to bow hunt in town, and it's just fun to be able to keep chasing these deer with the archery tackle and be able to pull it off. I'm hunting the same field that Jared and I hunted in last year, and we're able to harvest that 10-point, just on a different side of it. I have hunted here a few times, and all the deer have done the same thing, walked the same trail, and so I moved the stand about 60 yards and had a 15-yard shot at that trail, and I really couldn't be any happier, and it's a nice way to wrap up another year in the urban zone. I did get some nice trail cam pics of some really big bucks this year during the rut. We just weren't really focused here, and I don't typically focus here, but I may rethink that next year if I can find some of these deer back early season. This was my 45th hunt of the year. Put a lot of time in. I've had a lot of close calls, even in town, and self-filming's not easy. So, like I said, for this all to come together, it's pretty exciting, and I couldn't be really more thankful.
Mike used his muddy pro climbing sticks to get into his stand quietly. They work great when you place the stand the day you hunt it, one of the main reasons our public land hunters also carry these sticks. The versatility of Realtree Extra helps Mike hide in this bare tree during the late season hunt. The pattern blends well with both light and dark trees. The buck has no idea Mike is hanging just a short distance away.
My boot of choice for whitetail hunting is the Cabela's 5mm Accelerator rubber boot. It's completely waterproof and has an overbuilt sole for hiking through rough terrain. The neoprene top makes for better range of motion, resulting in longer, more comfortable days in the field.
Once you release the string, your roll is complete. Now it is up to the arrow and the broadhead to get the job done. This is no place to take chances on unproven quality. I have been to the Easton plant, and I have seen the pains that they take to assure that every single arrow is perfect. Why trust your whole season to anything less? On public land, Sean Ferendorf and Zach Fehrenbaugh are heading back to the buck nest, this time with shotgun tags in their pockets.
Yep. It's right in the creek crossing. No, it isn't. Alright, I'm gonna shoot him. Alright, I got him. Shoot, you can't shoot him right there. Move then. Stop, don't move. No, he's right there. Well, today is December the 10th. It is the first day of the second shotgun season here in Iowa. And Zach and I are back in the buck nest. So we got to a bend in the creek, and there was a couple of does standing down in the creek bottom. We let them cross, a couple more filtered through. So we just set up. I took the backpack off. I was just getting it set up for a rest, basically. We didn't know what was gonna be behind them. Sure enough, I'm sitting there trying to get in position, and Zach says, "Sean, there's a buck right there." He was 70 yards in front of us. I was in a really awkward position. I had the crosshairs on him, but I didn't feel comfortable shooting him. I got repositioned. He ran up to the top of the creek and stopped. Didn't want to shoot him through some brush, so it's snowing on us now. We're gonna sit out for the remainder of the day. Feels good, kind of like last time Zach and I were in here, real gloomy, cold. Only last time it was raining on us. This time it's snowing on us, so we're gonna wait it out. Hopefully we get another shot at a buck today. Dang it, man. What's it? I think that back one's the one that walked right past us the other day. I think it is. Oh, the one in front and something. Yeah, this is.
As Sean and Zach tough out the entire day on stand, the evening ends without an opportunity at a mature buck. Frigid Forge Trophy Clover is my choice when creating poor man's plots, small food plots that we make on a budget using just hand tools. This seed blend has several varieties, and at least one does well in every condition. The seed germinates well and grows fast, producing a huntable food plot by the first fall. Your string is the most important accessory on your bow and the most overlooked. You need a great string. I have watched Fuse custom strings being made, and it is impressive. Each string and harness is preloaded under high tension, so there is no stretch or twist later when you put them on your bow. Fuse strings come standard on Hoyt bows, but you can purchase them custom made to fit any bow on the market. We had good success with the Ozonics HR200, which is still in the line, but their new HR300 model produces up to 45% more ozone. This can be critical in the tree stand on days when the wind is gusting.
Hoyt makes the most versatile bows on the market. Models like the Clash have widely adjustable draw lengths and weights. These bows are perfect for growing youth hunters or women needing a lighter draw weight bow that still packs a full-size punch.
I've been in a number of hunting camps over the years, and hunters rarely argue over which bow or arrow is the best. But it can get pretty heated when the subject of broadheads comes up. Bow hunters have strongly held opinions about what is the most important on this critical part of the equipment puzzle. At Midwest Whitetail, we've been shooting rocket broadheads for as long as we have been in business. As the second shotgun season opens in Iowa, Mike Valier and Chad Lathrop begin hunting a giant 11-pointer that they have been after for 2 years.
Buddy, we are out chasing a deer we call high roller tonight. Nasty, wintry, snowy mix, rain, overlooking a sweet turnip plot. Deer haven't really been hitting turnips this year, but typically this plot late season is really good. Chad and I both had some success over it in the late gun season, second gun and late muzzleloader here in southern Iowa. So here we are, second day, second gun. We actually wanted to be sitting on another plot that we have on this farm, but due to the northwest wind, we couldn't get in there. So we're kind of going here. We don't have pictures of high roller. We have one picture of him in here in the morning, one morning. Hopefully history proves above trail cameras today, and he shows up in this plot for us. So
High roller never showed up on the field. Having only weekends to hunt, the two look forward to the forecast for inspiration. The weather is supposed to be cold and snowy, a perfect combination for late season hunting. Time will tell if it is enough to create a feeding urgency in this great buck. With no more hunting vacations, time on stand won't bail us out. We have to hunt smarter now, not necessarily harder. Hope is still strong, but they have dialed down the intensity. How we hunt now is nothing like how we hunted just a few weeks earlier when we were chasing November.